Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to the New York City Committee on Civil Service and Labor. Please place your phone on silent mode. Thank you for your cooperation. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Welcome to today's hearing of the New York City Council's Committee on Civil Service and Labor. I'm Councilmember Shirley Aldebol, Chair of this committee. Today we will be considering Introduction 692, sponsored by Councilmember Carmen de la Rosa, which seeks to address pay disparities for paraprofessionals within the Department of Education. Paraprofessionals are essential to ensuring that our schools are inclusive, supportive learning environments for all students. They work one-on-one with students with disabilities, assist teachers in managing classrooms, and often serve as the critical link between students, families, and schools. Despite their importance, paraprofessionals have historically been among the lowest paid employees of the DOE. The starting salary for paraprofessionals is just above $32,000 a year, well below the estimated true cost of living in New York City. Paraprofessionals have testified that as a result of low pay, they struggle to afford food and rent and sometimes work additional jobs. This cannot be an acceptable status quo for individuals who provide much needed instructional, behavioral, and physical support to students, and who play such a critical role not only in the lives of students in schools, but in the city's overall well-being. With Mayor Mamdani and Governor Hochul's plan to strengthen and expand Universal 3K, we expect an increase in the demand for paraprofessionals as soon as this fall. As of February 2025, there were over 1,000 paraprofessional vacancies, and we cannot risk letting this shortage get any greater. Today, we'll hear from the Office of Labor Relations and other stakeholders. Our goal at this hearing is to take a closer look at how to advance pay equity so that paraprofessionals are adequately and properly compensated. We hope to gain a better understanding of how this legislation would ensure that paraprofessionals who make our schools work every day are treated fairly and respectfully. I'd like to thank committee staff, Senior Policy Analyst Nina Rosenberg, Senior Legislative Counsel Rie Ogasawara, Maureen Marpatnode, for their hard work in preparing for this hearing. I'd also like to thank my Chief of Staff, Sophia Brown, for all the work you do for our district. I would like to recognize that we've been joined by Council Members Frank Morano, Council Member Gennaro, Council Member Santos Suoso, Council Member Nycc, and Council Member De La Rosa. I'll now turn over to Councilmember De La Rosa for her opening statement.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Chair, for your leadership, and to the committee for holding today's hearing on Intro 692, better known as the Respect Check. We introduced this bill because behind every successful classroom in our city, there are often paraprofessionals making that learning possible. These are the workers who sit one-on-one with students with disabilities, help children to communicate, regulate, and learn, and make sure every student can fully participate in our schools. The reality is that people doing this essential work are among the lowest paid employees in our school system. Entry-level paraprofessionals can learn as low as $32,000 a year, and many experienced paraprofessionals still make under $50,000 annually in one of the most expensive cities in the country. With large gaps in our paraprofessional workforce, the consequences continue to grow in our schools. New York City has faced thousands of paraprofessional vacancies in recent years, leaving classrooms without the support that students are legally entitled to and putting additional strain on teachers and school staff. These gaps also translate to lawsuits and a revolving door of outside contracting that costs the city and the state hundreds of millions of dollars. The Respect Check is about stabilizing this workforce. It recognizes that although long-term compensation should ultimately be addressed through collective bargainings, our schools and our students cannot wait while this workforce remains in crisis and while this crisis grows. At its core, this legislation is about dignity and recognition. If we believe that every child deserves support in the classroom, then we must also believe that workers providing that support deserve wages that allow them to live with stability and respect in the city where they serve. I look forward to hearing from paraprofessional advocates and our agency partners today about how we can close this gap and build a school system that truly values people who make it run. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We'll now hear testimony from a representative from the Office of Labor Relations. Oh, hold on. I'll turn to Ms. Rosenberg to administer the oath for this panel, or this individual.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this committee and to respond honestly to council member questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Eldebal and members of the Civil Service and Labor Committee. I'm Daniel Pollock, First Deputy Commissioner at the Office of Labor Relations. Thank you for this opportunity to testify today on Intro 692, establishing a new workforce stabilization payment for paraprofessional employees employed by the Department of Education. Intro 692 would require the DOE to provide eligible school paraprofessionals with annual non-pensionable workforce stabilization payments of $10,000. The payment would be provided as a lump sum and would be subject to proration. Under the legislation, the requirement for this payment would be deemed repealed upon execution of a collective bargaining agreement that increases the total annual compensation of paraprofessionals by an amount equal or greater to the proposed workforce stabilization payment. This legislation is an updated version of Intro 1261, which similarly sought to create a payment for Department of Education paraprofessionals. So I'd like to start by saying that the administration fully appreciates the intent behind this bill. Paraprofessionals work every day alongside other New York City public school staff to help educate our children, and we understand the motivation behind efforts to provide them with increased compensation. However, we have significant legal, practical, and fairness concerns with an approach that would provide a substantial pay increase for these employees through local legislation. This bill, like its predecessor, is inconsistent with state law governing collective bargaining in the public sector. Since 1967, the city has been obligated under the New York State Public Employees Fair Employment Act, known as the Taylor Law, to bargain wage rates with municipal unions. The payments contemplated by this legislation, like other pay items in terms and conditions of employment, are mandatory subjects of collective bargaining under the Taylor Law, and therefore must be negotiated between the city and the Department of Education and the union representing these members. These benefits cannot be imposed by local law. The New York Court of Appeals made this principle clear in Mayor of the City of New York versus Council of the City of New York, a 2007 case, stating that the Taylor Law prohibits local legislative bodies from usurping the executive's prerogative to agree with unions on terms and conditions of employment. Separately, the proposed bill is preempted by state law because it would usurp the authority of the DOE over personnel matters involving DOE employees. Beyond the legal concerns, we believe this legislation would fundamentally undermine the city's collective bargaining process and in turn the rights of both the city as an employer and the unions that represent their members. The city has 150 collective bargaining units represented by almost 100 different unions. Both the city and its unions must have confidence that when an agreement is reached, its terms will govern. If compensation changes and other terms and conditions of employment could be changed through legislation outside of the bargaining process, why make a deal at all? The city would be unable to budget responsibly if the wage increases established in collective bargaining agreements were not the final compensation obligations. Similarly, unions would have less confidence that the agreements they negotiate are equitable relative to those reached by other unions, knowing that additional compensation could later be obtained through legislation outside the bargaining process. This isn't a theoretical concern. In the most recent round of bargaining, the city reached agreements with unions representing 98.5% of the city workforce, covering approximately 350,000 employees. Addressing paraprofessional pay through legislation outside that bargaining process would be unfair to the many unions that settled their contracts with the understanding that the established pattern would govern, many of whom used funding available in those agreements to fund targeted wage increases for certain titles. It would also be unfair to all the city workers who performed difficult, valuable work but did not receive this extra payment outside the bargaining process. Some may argue that pattern bargaining prevents low-paid workers from receiving fair increases, but history shows us that pattern bargaining can be flexible and can be used to address those issues. Over many years, OLR has worked with unions to find flexibility within each bargaining round's pattern to address specific titles. In the last round, we had a concept called the Equity Fund, which created funding that could be used for specific titles with recruitment and retention issues or other issues related to compensation. For example, District Council 37 used this funding to provide additional increases for titles facing recruitment and retention challenges, including 911 operators, lifeguards, and other titles. OLR remains ready to work with the UFT to use funding within a collective bargaining agreement to increase compensation for paraprofessionals. While the bill characterizes this payment as separate from collective bargaining and states it does not affect collective bargaining rights, it cannot do so simply by declaring it. Payments to employees are compensation, a term and condition of employment under the Taylor Law, and therefore must be negotiated between the employer and the union representing those employees. No one would argue that legislation reducing compensation or eliminating benefits secured through bargaining would be consistent with the bargaining process. The same principle applies here. Thank you for the opportunity to testify, and I will address any questions you might have.
Thank you for your testimony. Councilmember Morano, do you have any questions before you have to go?
I do. Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Commissioner, not only for your testimony, but I appreciate the administration acknowledging the important role that paraprofessionals play in our schools. I was just out of school this morning, and I could see how hard all these paras are working. We hear constantly about recruitment and retention challenges in these positions. From the administration's perspective, how serious is the current staffing shortage for paraprofessionals in New York City schools? The chair indicated there were over 1,000 vacancies for paras. Is that what you're seeing? Is it more? Is it less?
Thank you for the question, Council Member. My understanding from DOE is that that's about right, maybe a little more than 1,000. But, my understanding is there are approximately 25,000 full-time paraprofessionals and, a little over 1,000 vacancies.
The administration's main defense here seems that the council can't legislate compensation. And this is very familiar to me because I have another bill that wants to give city workers a day off if they donate an organ, and they're mounting a similar objection. And it is a little frustrating, but I'm very attuned to the argument for that reason. You argue that this legislation conflicts with the Taylor Law because compensation is a mandatory subject of bargaining. Is it your position that the city council has no ability whatsoever to establish compensation policies affecting municipal employees through legislation?
Yes, Council Member, that is the position.
Are there examples where the council has created compensation-related programs or bonuses for city employees through legislation?
There aren't that I'm aware of. I'm certainly not aware of every piece of legislation going back, but I'm not aware of it specifically.
So if the council can't legislate solutions and bargaining hasn't yet addressed the issue, what mechanism exists for addressing urgent workforce shortages like the one we're seeing with paraprofessionals?
Thank you for that question. So I think, you did say that bargaining has not yet addressed the problem, and I appreciate that because I think, yet is the important part. There's always the opportunity to bargain more and to try to address these issues through that process. I will say that, we do have a close contract with the UFT. We have an agreement expiring in November of 27. That said, there have been times in the past when we've reopened agreements in the middle due to challenges. And, one thing I do want to focus on, obviously I testified to the legal issues, but I do want to get across that it's not just the legal issues here. I think there's a really a practical and a fairness issue here about looking at the workforce as a whole, because while I acknowledge the problems and the challenges that come from having 1,000 paraprofessional vacancies, I think, and I've often, testified in this committee about vacancies in the city workforce alongside DCAS, that there are a lot of places with a lot of vacancies. We see, I think, some places with vacancy rates far higher than that. And I think no matter what, you have to make sure that any approach you take is taken in a consistent way so that you're not treating any particular title or union or employee better than others. So I would say that the way to address this is to try to bargain the issue. Certainly if the UFT came to us and said, we think this is a challenge that needs to be addressed now. We want to reopen our contract. I can give you an example. Back in 2018, I think it was, the UFT wanted to establish a paid parental leave program for their members. and we reopen the contract and figure out a way to come to an agreement on that rather than waiting for the next agreement.
In certain schools, especially a special needs school that has a shortage of paras, it seems a lot more urgent than just a challenge. It seems, by definition, kind of an emergency. But you mentioned, I don't want to monopolize the questions, and I appreciate your patience, but you mentioned that OLR remains ready to work with the UFT to increase compensation. Can you tell us what proposals the administration has made, if any, to increase paraprofessional pay?
We have not made any proposals as of this time recently. You know, if we went back to past contract negotiations, you know, I would have to look to see if we made any specific proposals related to paraprofessionals during those negotiations.
So if the administration believes the solution must come through collective bargaining, what's the timeline for addressing paraprofessional compensation and the related crisis that we have with vacancies through that process?
So, you know, I don't think I can give a specific timeline today. I will say that the bargaining for the next round, bargaining will have to occur at some time. The contract with DC 37 expires in November of this year. The UFT is later, November of next year, but our contracts are starting to expire. So there certainly will come a time soon when we are engaged, kind of fully engaged in bargaining again. We're always engaged in bargaining, always ready to talk, but there will come a time soon when we are in the room for a new period. And I think issues like this will be front and center when we get to that point.
So paraprofessionals are expected to wait until the next full bargaining cycle before seeing any relief.
I would say that we are willing to sit down and talk to the UFT before then about solutions. You know, it needs to be we need to make sure it's an approach that is fair to everyone, but we are more than willing to sit down and talk about it and see if we can figure something out.
Final question. So a lot of paras in this city earn barely enough to live in the communities that they serve. Do you believe and does the administration believe that the current compensation structure is adequate to recruit and retain the workforce that our schools need?
So I would, you know, in terms of recruitment and retention of the employees, I would have to defer the Department of Education on their view of that. You know, will say, you know, personally, and I've spoken about this before, there are a lot of city employees that I would love to see paid more. You know, so many city employees do incredibly valuable work, and paraprofessionals are definitely one of them. And I think in an ideal world, we would pay everyone a lot more. Obviously, there are, you know, fiscal realities we have to deal with, and as I said, you have to make sure it's a approach that addresses everyone in that situation, not just, you know, one group. So, you know, I certainly understand the view. This administration has obviously talked a lot about affordability, and, you know, the view of the administration is clear on that. So it's a concern, but like I said, any solution, we really have to look globally and make sure it doesn't kind of spill over too much in a way that is unfair to others.
Thank you. And thank you, Chair, for letting me go an extra minute.
Thank you, Councilmember. I do have a couple of follow-up questions, if I may, before I turn it over to Councilmember Narcisse. So, I'm being respectful. So the last time this committee discussed paraprofessionals, OLR stated that you were not aware of an attritional analysis that was undertaken for paraprofessionals, and are there plans to undertake this analysis?
I believe that thank you, Chair, for the question. I believe that in the last hearing, the Department of Education had testified regarding attrition rates, that their retention rates were around 95%. I'd have to review the testimony, but the DOE would be the one doing any attrition analysis. I can certainly follow up and see if they have those numbers available to provide to the committee.
And I have a follow-up on the comment you made about reopening the contract. Are there provisions in the current collective bargaining agreements with DC 37 or UFP that allows for a reopener to discuss any of the job titles?
There are not any explicit provisions, but in the past, that has not prevented OLR from, you know, agreeing to do so. Obviously, we can agree to whatever we want to agree to. So in the past, OLR has reopened contracts even that did not have explicit reopener provisions to talk about kind of challenges, including working out with the UFT a paid parental leave program.
So what has been the barrier to negotiating better compensation for this group of of job titles or this group of workers that are clearly, it feels like we're at a crisis point with the number of vacancies that's only going to grow because of the need coming with the expansion of 3K, the 3K program.
I don't think I'd say that there's something preventing it. I think that, we've not received a request from the UFT. We normally do not start, engaging bargaining if a union doesn't, especially midterm, if a union doesn't indicate a desire to do so. They have not come to us and asked to bargain. They've only kind of come forth with this legislation. We have not gotten any kind of request from them to discuss this issue.
Okay. And so when OLR negotiates with the bargaining representative that represents multiple, job titles, like UFT, for example, do you consider the negotiations for each civil service title independently, or is everyone subject to just the same pattern?
So our approach, as I said, we try to be flexible. So, under the pattern bargaining approach that the city, engages in, typically what we look at is the total cost of an agreement for a bargaining unit. So, in the case of some unions, it's very small. We have 100-person bargaining units. We have 3-person bargaining units, and then we're just looking at that title. If you only represent one title, we look at one title. But for a union like the UFT or DC 37, we look at kind of the cost of the whole agreement. And if a union wants to put more money towards one title, then we will look at that. We'll look at the total cost and kind of evaluate it in a global context. We won't say, no, you can't give more to one title than to another. That's not something we would say to a union. We would certainly want to discuss it, discuss the reasons for focusing on one title rather than another, but we have done so in the past and would continue to do so.
Okay. Councilmember Narcisse, you had a question?
Oh, yes, I do. Thank you, Chair. Thank you for the opportunity to speak and ask some question. I have a lot of writing here, but I have to get to the point. That's not my hearing. But I want to say, historically, how has paraprofessional pay in New York City changed over the past 10, 20 years? And has it kept, pace with the rising cost of living in the city?
Thank you for the question, Council Member. I would, to do a full analysis, I would have to get back to you. But, in the past, it would vary depending on whether we're looking at 10, 20 years. The last 10 years, I think wage increases have generally been somewhere around 2.5%, 3%. I think if you look at the probably past couple of decades and you looked at the wage increases employees have generally received versus inflation, you'd find that in low inflation periods, the wages tend to exceed inflation. In high inflation periods, they tend to be a bit lower, but I don't have a kind of across some time period analysis right now I can speak to.
Is the administration tracking how many paraprofessional leaves the system each year due to the wages?
So I would have to confer with the Department of Education to get that information. I know they do obviously track who leaves. I don't know if they have any kind of exit interview process set up where they are able to kind of assign a reason.
For many reasons, I'm reading from your quote here. Both the city and its unions must have confidence that when an agreement is reached, in its terms will govern. If compensation changes could instead be enacted through legislation outside of the process, why make a deal at all? This is interesting to me because when the paraprofessional cannot pay the bill, knowing the rising costs and all this, so now if they're coming to us, and if I'm correct, from what you said, now if we cannot pass any bill to change that, their children, their home, what they eat have to wait? How do we do it?
So I completely appreciate the question and the sentiment and the thought behind that. And, as I said, I think there are ways that we could have the discussion through the bargaining process where this should be. But, the other thing I just say is that we need to be conscious of everyone, because they are not, they're not the lowest paid, they're not the lowest paid employees in the city necessarily. There are a lot of other employees who make similar wages, and, whatever we end up doing, whatever approach we would take, I think we want to be sure that we're fair to every city worker. So that was, when OLR talks about pattern bargaining, and I know a lot of people question it. A lot of people say this seems overly rigid. For us, it really is about making sure that we're thinking of the whole picture, about every union, every employee, and that we're not, just taking one group at a time and maybe, treating them differently than everyone else. So, I understand the sentiment. I wish I had an answer that said we could give $10,000 to every city employee. But, as you know, we have fiscal constraints as well. So.
To me, it's more than sentiment. This is people's lives, and this is what they eat. And as a healthcare professional, that's a health. Many schools struggle to recruit paraprofessionals because the pay does not reflect the responsibilities of the job. Do you believe this payment will make the profession more suitable to help bring more qualified candidate into the system?
So I'm not the best person to speak about kind of the recruitment of paraprofessionals. I will say obviously, offering more money helps recruit. It's not, generally speaking, that helps. It's not always a magic bullet. Some jobs, there are challenges beyond money that impact recruitment. And I think there are always other strategies you can look at that aren't just money. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that like adding $10,000 wouldn't make a difference. And I wouldn't say that. But I would have to ultimately, on all the nuances, have to defer to DOE.
You cannot say it, and I cannot say it either, because those are the people that educating our kids every single day, more than even sometimes the teachers. Their hands overwhelmed, and we know that. And I don't want to beat on you, but I'm just saying my job is to listen to them and coming to a solution, because there's a problem in the house right now. It's education for our children. They're educating our kids. They're helping us to build the future that we all talk about. Um, you talking about, I'm about to finish here. Uh, you will sit down. I mean, if I quote you correctly, you want to sit down, right? So to listen, to see how, because based on the question of my colleagues, but how long they've been crying, saying that this is not working and they asking for help. So you never had a chance to really dive into it to see how the best way you can help?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that we negotiate agreements with the UFT and other unions. Those negotiations are lengthy, and ultimately we come to an agreement that both parties, decide to put out to that decide to live by, that the city agrees to, that the union agrees to put out to their membership, that the membership ultimately ratifies. And sometimes you can't address everything. Sometimes maybe an issue wasn't raised as prominently as it should have been. Sometimes maybe the issue wasn't as prominent when we were sitting down as it has become after that. And so that's why either, when that happens, you can either come sit down, try to find a way to reopen bargaining and see if that works for both parties, because ultimately it has to work for both. Or you can wait until your contract expires. I think those are really but it's always should be through that process, is my view, because truth is there are always, there are two parties in it, right? So the fact that there was not anything in the agreement, that was related specific to paraprofessionals. It wasn't just OLR's agreement. There was an OLR and UFT agreement, and I think any effort to change that and to go back and change that should involve both parties discussing it, as we so frequently do.
It is difficult, and I'm going to stop right here. This is not my hearing, but their bills cannot wait. Their children cannot wait. And I understand the bargaining. I understand all that. This have to take place. But in the meanwhile, you cannot tell someone that cannot pay the bills to wait. If they wait, they have to wait for a purpose, and a good one too. So I hope they get that extra. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Narcisse. Councilmember De La Rosa?
Thank you, Chair, and good to see you again. Look, I think as the former chair of this committee, I think that my colleagues and I perfectly understand the importance of collective bargaining as the cornerstone of unionized work. And we also understand the bounds of the laws when it comes to the jurisdiction of the council. But the question I have for you, do you know how much the city pays in Carter cases a year?
Those are not numbers I have at hand. I know it's very
$1
significant.
billion annually. And would you agree with me that the city is legally mandated to provide special education to children who need it?
So, I'm certainly not an expert in that area, but that's my understanding.
It is. They are legally mandated. And so, here what we have is the picking and choosing of how we apply law. Because if we have a legal mandate to provide special education supports to children and we're spending $1 billion annually, then there is both a legal argument and a fiscal argument as to why this legislation makes sense. And I understand that in collective bargaining, you all will get into the details of how that happens and where compensation structures happen. But I would argue that in this moment, when we have a legal mandate to provide services for families, we can't wait because this is a workforce that is in crisis. I would be the first one. I think all of us here, I can't speak for all of us, but I think I have a good sense that all of us here, I've seen all of these ladies at picket lines very recently for the nurses, would all stand in favor of ensuring that workers across this city are fairly paid and that negotiation is done in a fair and comprehensive way. And I understand how the pattern works. But you have a situation with the paras where that pattern is creating and growing a crisis for a workforce that is necessary inside our schools right now. And so the council is attempting with this law to try and mitigate that crisis before it balloons out of control because it's costing us $1 billion annually. The fiscal impact statement for this legislation is $400 million. So there's a cost savings there. And in a time where we have a gap to close, I would think, and I'm not saying that all of the $1 billion would be closed by this particular bill, but I think it would make a dent in the type of supports that the most vulnerable students in our city need. And so I want to speak to that. I wish the DOE was here. I'm not going to lie and I wish that they were here to answer some of the questions. I understand that they couldn't be here today. But as we navigate the vacancy rates across the city for agencies, I was glad to hear that this administration is looking at policies like the 2-for-1 hire, which have created ballooning vacancies in agencies. And so I think we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can tackle vacancies by changing policies that are not working, like the 2-for-1 hire rule, and pass legislation to make sure that we're keeping with our legal mandate. And then I don't know if you have the authority to speak to this, but it is my understanding that as a candidate, the mayor supported paraprofessionals. Do you have reason to believe that Mayor Mandani would support this type of legislation?
So I can't speak specifically to that. I will say that, from our perspective, it's not a matter of, or from OLR's perspective, it's not a matter of saying, we're not sitting here saying, we don't think that, we think the pay is perfectly fine where it is. There's no problem whatsoever. Like, we don't, this shouldn't be an issue. I think we're just saying that it has to be addressed in a more global way and through the kind of process that it's supposed to be addressed through. There obviously are the fiscal realities we face. Obviously, the mayor's talked about those realities. And, whatever you do, obviously, you talked about the $400 million impact of this bill, which isn't insignificant. And then, beyond that, there's what would come next for other titles if this group got something like that. So it wouldn't be limited, I think, to $400 million. So ultimately, it's about balancing those realities. But I think, we are interested in making sure that whatever we do going forward in bargaining, that we're looking at issues like this. I will say in the last round of bargaining, we tried to some degree focus on recruitment and retention issues because when we were engaged in bargaining back in 2023, I know Councilmember De La Rosa, you called a lot of attention to this. There were a lot of recruitment and retention challenges. There still are. I think we've made a lot of efforts to try to not certainly eliminate those issues, but try to help with those issues. We did things like equity funding. We did things like that were kind of efforts to enhance our ability to get people. And they may not have been perfect. They may not have solved the problem permanently, but I think as we look towards new bargaining, whether it's the next round or a union's desire to reopen a contract, and talk more, we would be focused on that issue then as well.
Well, we're looking forward to obviously working with OLR. I think that it is important to note that this administration, this council, all of us have been laser focused on affordability. I can think of no other way to make the city more affordable than to pay people the wages that they deserve. These unionized workers, these essential workers of our city. I have a child in the New York City public school system. I see the work that they do every single day to make sure that our children are safe and educated. And as the chair noted, with the expansion of programs like 2K and 3K, we're going to need more of them, not just to meet that 1,044 vacancy, but we need to expand this workforce. And we can't attract them. I mean, $30,000 a year when someone is paying $2,000 rent a month, I mean, you can qualify for food stamps with that wage. And so we have to take into account that these are real human beings doing real important work, and that we all need to collectively come together to find the solution. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember De La Rosa. I do have a, I do have a question. It's actually more of a comment. I worked in labor for many years, public sector and private sector. And I understand, that pattern bargaining is meant to kind of make a level playing field, but that doesn't work when you have such structural pay disparities that are based on a number of issues. It could be gender bias, racial bias, and I see jobs like these that are largely women, women of color. Nothing against the men out there, but the reality is that there's a structural bias built into the wages that are paid to certain groups of workers, and the pattern bargaining does not fix that. My other comment is that, if the UFT has come to the city council to try to alleviate this problem, to me it seems like they had no other recourse but to come to the city council because they were unable to reopen bargaining to deal with this particular issue. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Aldebal. And that, I do want to say, obviously, this administration has not engaged in a round of collective bargaining yet. Obviously, as we do bargaining, every administration has different priorities, and certainly this administration, I think, should have an opportunity to engage in that process with an eye towards some of their priorities, which I think are many of those that this committee has spoken to. So I think there are opportunities. I think there are opportunities for a pattern to kind of recognize those realities and try to deal with them. Not saying that every pattern that we've had did that. There are maybe some patterns didn't do enough. We have been making an effort in recent ones to set aside funding for uses like this. I think we look forward to trying to continue to look at how we can, within the constructs that we have, in a way that's fair to everyone, how we can, try to deal with situations like the one the council is bringing attention to.
So, and based on your testimony today, are you saying that, and also based on, the mayor's commitment to raise wages for this group of workers and others, are you saying that the city OLR would, if UFT were to approach you or DC 37 were to approach you about reopening the contract to increase compensation for this group of workers, that you would agree to do so?
I'm not able to make a commitment about formally reopening. I will say we'll always have a discussion. We've done it in the past, and if they came to us and said that, we would have the discussion about what the possibilities are and whether we're willing to do that. We're always willing to talk. We're always willing to sit down and listen. We don't normally just say you have a closed contract, go away. We're always willing to talk.
Thank you. Welcome, Council Member Caban. Do you have any questions? No. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
So, okay. So I'm now going to open the floor for, to public testimony. Before we begin, I remind members of the public that this is a formal government proceeding, that decorum shall be observed at all times. As such, members of the public shall remain silent at all times. The witness table is reserved for people who wish to testify. No video recording or photography is allowed from the witness table. Further, members of the public may not present audio or video recordings as testimony, but may submit transcripts of such recordings to the Sergeant at Arms for inclusion in the hearing record. If you wish to speak at today's hearing, please fill out an appearance card with the Sergeant at Arms and wait for your name to be called. Once you have been recognized, you will have 2 minutes to speak on today's legislation, Intro 692. If you have a written statement or additional written testimony you wish to submit for the record, please provide a copy of that testimony to the Sergeant at Arms. You may also email written testimony to testimony@council.nyc.gov within 72 hours of this hearing. Audio and video recordings will not be accepted. When you hear your name, please come up to the witness panel. I see President Michael Mulgrew is already here.
He said, "I'm ready."
I would call up Vice Chair Anthony Barnes. Michelle Herman, Policy Director for UFT. John Camps, Vice Chair for paraprofessionals. And Chapter Chairperson, also for UFT, Priscilla Castro.
Good.
I think we got everybody.
Where's Priscilla? Hey, Priscilla. Okay. Okay. We're waiting for. I hear Bridget. I hear Bridget.
have to- you have
Sorry, I
to
think
swear them
people
in.
behind me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Chair, and we do appreciate you having this hearing. We're very happy at this first hearing, so thank you so much, especially on this important issue. We are submitting testimony, and I just want you to know that we also are submitting over 50 testimonials from paraprofessionals who are all working right now inside of schools. After listening to OLR's responses, you know, I'm getting a little disgusted with this whole thing, and I appreciate the questions from City Council. The fact that they continue to sit back and say it's a subject of collective bargaining. I want to be clear and make sure that you and everyone in the public understands their position inside of a collective bargaining venue is that other workers must pay for this, not the city. And that is why this is getting more and more in what I'm concerning to be very, very ugly. Because the reality is we are short thousands of paraprofessionals. Every one of those paraprofessionals that we are short is a crisis for a family and a child. Is the Office of Labor Relations of New York City, what is their job? Is their job to go after workers and try to make other workers pay for their mistakes? Or is their job to try to staff the City of New York's agencies properly for them to deliver the services that are required? And when it comes to children, the fact that they continue to hold to this ridiculous argument, and it is only an argument, it is not a law, it is not a regulation, it is not a requirement. The city can do this. It is OLR and OMB's position to continue to cause great pain to children and their families, and they hide behind something that is completely untrue. There is nothing that says the city of New York must adhere to this pattern of saying other workers need to pay for the raises. You cannot hire the people you need to do the job. Let's just start with simple things. The cost of living in New York City, and that a paraprofessional starts at $30,000. A paraprofessional in Boston starts at $41,000, and their cost of living is much less. So we appreciate this hearing. And again, we thank you for introducing this bill, and we just say enough is enough, and I think we should do a hearing about what is the actual job of OLR of New York City.
Thank you. Next.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chair. My name is Priscilla Castro. I'm the chairperson for the paraprofessionals of New York City, all 26,000.
That's
Oh,
not your
okay.
time. No.
Thank you, Carmen de la Rosa, for introducing this bill. This respect check means a lot for all the paraprofessionals in New York City. Collective bargaining does not work. The 3%, 4% that we have been enduring all these years in collective bargaining is a disgrace. $33,000? Our paraprofessionals cannot survive. Our students need our paraprofessionals. The paraprofessionals are the backbone of the classroom. It's not right. We talk about 1,000 paraprofessionals. It's way more than that. 3 to 4,000 paraprofessionals needed. These are students without services, students with disabilities that need paraprofessionals. And every day we are losing paraprofessionals. Why? Because of the wage. Not because they want to leave the profession, they have to leave the profession. Who can live on $33,000? They cannot live in New York City, so they're leaving New York City. And it's not right, and we have to do something about that. And this legislation will do just that. Thank you.
Good evening. Did I just turn? Is it on? So good evening. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Anthony Barnes, and I am the Assistant Secretary of the U of T Paraprofessional Chapter. Almost 33 years ago, I was a sub-paraprofessional, and the problems that I saw then are still here, right? Imagine getting a check and you still can't meet your bills. Imagine having your lights turned off. Imagine being homeless. And these are paraprofessionals that we talk to on a daily basis as we visit schools and we meet these members. And not only do we have shortages, but there are paraprofessionals that are expected to do the job of 2 and 3 paraprofessionals in the school. And they're punished if they don't do it. We just thank you for this opportunity today to raise the salary for paraprofessionals. You have a love for children. It's never a job that you expect it to be wealthy, but you do expect to be able to take care of yourself and take care of your family, to move to a better home, to provide college tuition for your kids, maybe go on a vacation, That's what everybody wants in life. Just thank you to consider everything you can to help our members. Just thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is John Camps. I'm a representative for the paraprofessional chapter as well. I want to thank you, Chair Adibal, members of the council, members of this committee for having this hearing. Right, as my colleague has said, we are short between 3,000 to 4,000 paraprofessionals. Those kids' needs do not disappear. Those kids need and get the love of the 1 or 2 paraprofessionals that pick up the slack in order to make sure that those kids' day at school is the best that they can have, right? This is also wearing down our paraprofessionals and causing burnout, because after working 2 to 3 jobs in the school, you are leaving to go to your second and then your third job in order to just fight to still be below water. Our paraprofessionals came into this for the right reasons, because the love of children and trying to make sure that their education is taken care of, right? We need to make sure that we are treating them with the grace that they treat the children that they serve every day, right? These are the people that get our children off the buses, make sure that their diapers are changed, make sure that they are fed, make sure that they have a pat on the back when they're struggling, that go over and over the lesson with them and slow it down so that they understand what's going on, because some of our kids don't come in with that clear mindset, right? Their minds are going 1,000 miles an hour. And our paras are able to settle it down and get them to a point where they understand it. Those are the moments that we hold true as a paraprofessional, right? When you see a kid that struggled all year and all of a sudden they get it, that joy that they get, that's the wealth that Anthony spoke of, right? This bill would give them the respect to show that the council is hearing them, that this city is hearing them, that they are an essential worker in those schools and not just a punching bag that the DOE or OLR might think that they are, right? They represent our neighborhoods, and guess what? They live in those neighborhoods where they're serving, and they can't afford to live there anymore. So we come, as OLR said, or as the chair said, we come to you guys because we didn't have any other choice. We come to you to ask you for this so that we can have a pathway forward for our paraprofessionals and to address the mass vacancies that we do have to make this job the career that paras need and that our students need. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Michelle Herman. I'm the Executive Advisor for Policy and Negotiations at the U of T. I just want to echo what everyone said, and I think Chair Aldebol, you said it correctly. Pattern bargaining discriminates against the lowest paid workers, and I'm here to just kind of to give a more technical perspective on the legislation before you. This was carefully crafted because we've seen the effects of pattern bargaining over 10, 20, 30 years. And you've seen the charts. It goes like this. With the lowest paid and the highest paid workers, it doesn't work. And so we cannot work within the current system to fix the issue at hand. So this is why we have the carefully crafted piece of legislation to address the discrimination disparities caused by pattern bargaining. So thank you for taking the time to hear us out.
Thank you. I have a couple of questions, but if you have questions.
You the chair, you go first.
I'm going to go first. Prerogative of the chair. So this question is for any of you. Do you know how many paraprofessionals currently rely on benefits like SNAP or cash assistance and are maybe eligible for Medicaid benefits?
Many. Because again, $33,000. Thousands. We have 26,000 paraprofessionals. So you could imagine. And some of them, as John said, and Anthony said, to survive, barely surviving, calling us because they are being evicted, going into shelters. That's reality. That's truth. And it's just disgraceful.
Every one of them, if they are the primary, if they're the primary support, financial support for the household, they would qualify for almost all of the services you just said. And we have many paraprofessionals who are in that situation. And one of the issues that one of the most difficult issues for us is the countless number of paraprofessionals who are calling us who are in homeless situations, who are full-time workers for the city of New York. But we've never done a survey to collect the actual numbers, but because their salary is so low, they would qualify for almost all of those benefits if they are the single, again, funder for the household.
On the bargaining, have you explored other possible avenues to increase paraprofessional pay outside of the pattern,
Yes.
pattern bargaining?
Yes, and I can tell you that we were very proud that in the last two rounds of bargaining, the negotiating committee has voted to set aside other people's raises, parts of other people's raises for paraprofessionals, because we know that the gap is getting worse. And every time we do another round of collective bargaining, that gap of using pattern bargaining as the excuse actually exacerbates it. But we got to the point where we're now saying we can never catch up. And when you bring it to the city, to OLR and OMB, they are constantly telling us, well, you have to pay for the whole thing. And I said, where does it say this? You tell me where, we have pattern bargaining. I said, I know, I've done the historical research on pattern bargaining. It did not start in the city of New York. It started in the private industry, and they had clear provisions for these types of situations. So you're just ignoring that. You have chosen as a city to ignore that because it's convenient for you. Makes OLR's job easier in bargaining, but it also means that they're doing a massive disservice to the services we're supposed to be supplying the citizens, and in our case, the children of New York City. So part of me is like, this is enough now. And we cannot allow them to continue to hide behind a complete fabricated lie, because that's all it is. You can go back and look at the historical development of patent bargaining. It started in the auto industry across all of the different manufacturers, and the provisions were there that this situation would not happen. When they adopted it, the city adopted it, nobody else. In the fiscal crisis of the 70s, they chose to say, we're going to follow patent bargaining. That can keep us from going into the same situation we just had. And then, conveniently, they started to say that other workers had to pay for other workers' salaries. This is a complete made-up lie and a scam. It's nothing but a scam on behalf of the city of New York.
Do you have any questions, Councilmember Caban or Narcisse?
Okay. Since I'm part of the city of New York in some extent, but what you're saying that they hide behind the bargaining opportunity for them not taking their responsibility is not acceptable. Because like I said before, the folks that we're talking about, those are the folks that we need in our community. It is a necessity. It's not a luxury for our children in the classroom or the teachers. So in your position, what you think that we should do next, Michael? I know you always have ideas.
This is a crisis because the paraprofessionals are so important to a child who has great challenges, right? But these are not the only low-wage workers who've been affected negatively over the decades by patent bargaining. I think it's time we have a reckoning. And that is, and yes, you are part of the city of New York, and we've come to you as a check and balance on the city agencies.
You know that's my line, right? Check and balance for people.
And you have two agencies, OLR and OMB, who definitely need a check at this moment. And they need to be pulled onto the carpet to say enough is enough. And that really should be the next place that this goes, because this should not be happening. I do not believe that the majority of folks who are elected officials, who work for the city, think it's a good idea to keep driving their own workers into poverty. But it's being driven by two agencies, OLR and OMB. And they have just chosen to do that. So we can say, you can't make that choice anymore. You are irresponsible. You have caused damage and harm to thousands and thousands of people, as well as to thousands of people who are relying on services. You have done that. And you're supposed to be smart enough to understand the ramifications of your short-sighted decisions that make your day-to-day life easier as you're screwing over everybody else. So maybe we should go looking at this is the issue with putting real guardrails around OLR and OMB. Excuse me, sorry.
And unfortunately, I don't know, should I say unfortunately, that I'm on your side on that one totally, that they have to be responsible. There should be check and balance. And like I said before, we cannot ask people to wait to pay their bills. We cannot ask people to wait to eat. We cannot ask people to wait to pay, especially now with medical and all the things, reimbursement. So for those watching who may not fully understand the role of a para, the day-to-day, who can be the best person to tell me and describe? Because you have people watching and they say, what's para? For them, they don't. Like myself, I have 4 children, so I understand. So can you tell us what's the day-to-day activity for para? What they do, what's their responsibilities, and how they carry the classroom?
So the day-to-day function of a paraprofessional. When a paraprofessional walks into the lunchroom, if they're assigned to a one-to-one, and the majority of paraprofessionals are working with a one-to-one student. There are paras that work with a full class, but the need is mostly one-to-one basis, whether it be health-related, behavior. They set the tone, right? A lot of kids, we are the love that they get, right? So when you greet a kid in the morning, you would take them to class. We are not really responsible for breakfast, but a lot of times paras are paid to come in and work with the kids during breakfast. So in the classroom, you help them reinforce the lesson that the teacher has taught. A lot of times you have to differentiate because the teacher is going to move at the pace of the majority of the class. And you have the paraprofessional to kind of break down the lessons for the child that they're working with. And a lot of times they won't get it, but we find mechanisms to work with the kid to make them feel some accomplishments on a daily basis because that's what every kid needs: reinforcement, encouragement. Um, we document behaviors, we document the good things we see, the things that are not working so well for the kids. We do work well with the school support teams, the psychologists, the social workers, speech persons. We're involved in all of those actions. Um, we have, the role to also effectively communicate with parents. The teacher is in charge, but as the person working with the kids, it's important that we be at IEP meetings because again, we see a lot more from the kids a lot of times that the teacher does. Because remember, a teacher is one person and 30 kids, right? She has to keep up with the pace of the kids. So again, that's why we are essential in the classrooms for these kids. And when these kids don't get the services, they fall behind. They fall behind. They fall behind. Then the behaviors start, suspensions start, and it could have all been avoided by, giving these kids the services at the beginning. I don't know if anybody want to add anything.
And just to piggyback off of what Anthony says, we could be everything to the kid, the children that we serve, right? We could be their legs if they need to have a mobility issue, right? We're their protector to help guide them through the wall if they have unstable on their feet. We're diabetes screeners, right? We try to make sure if we get a kid in September that has diabetes, by the first week of October, you can tell if he blinks the wrong way, if his sugar's dropped or not, right? We know everything about our children. They become ours, right? We're their best friend. We're their biggest support system. We are the one that help guide them through these lessons, right? And we make sure that when those kids act up a little bit or over-spirited, as we like to say, right, we calm them down so that the teacher can proceed, so that the other 12 or 24 children in the room do not suffer because that one child is having a moment that they need to take some time to themselves, right? We are and can be everything to those children. We're their parents when they're at school, and we make sure that they are safe and sound until we pass them off to the bus matron or to the actual parent at the house when we get them off the bus, right?
So the parent basically get to know your children on a, personal and all aspect, and they are the one that can help your children progress in the school.
Yep.
They are the one that listen to your children even more.
As a lot of parents say, right, we become a psychologist, a social worker, a big brother, a big sister. We're it when we're with those kids, and we're with them 7 out of the 8 periods of the day in all of their classes. Besides our duty-free lunch, we're the constant in their life to make sure that it is. Everything in your life could be falling apart, but when you walk into that room or into that school building, the kid knows nothing but having a good day with you because that's what our job is, to make sure that they come in and they're protected and safe.
So I officially want to say thank you, even though I'm always regularly in the classroom. I want to say thank you to all the paraprofessional. And you don't want to know, my dear, for all the paraprofessional, Coast Guard, all the folks that keep the city running. And I think we owe it to them. And that's not much they're asking. So we're going to do everything. As you see, my colleagues have the bill, and I'm here. It's just like I'm here with you because I can understand what's going on. And I'm here with you because the backbone, the bone marrow, whatever you want to call it, that's why the paraprofessionals are in the classroom. So thank you. And do you believe that if we do the increase the way we're supposed to, we'll get more paraprofessional? Yes. Thank you. Absolutely. So thank you. I can see you waiting to get. Thank you.
So OLR did testify. It's simple. Michael, come on in and request a meeting, and they'll open everything back up, and we'll solve this in 1, 2, 3. How realistic is that? And can you walk folks through, like, what that actually means if the UFT were to go and say reopen the contract, like, you know, because they're painting this as a realistic alternative, and I don't believe that it is.
Every time we've approached them about this issue, it has always been about how are UFT members, the other UFT members, going to pay for this? Could you imagine any other form of business where if you can't recruit workers because of the salary, you go to the other workers and say, how are you going to pay for this? That's the arrogance that drives us nuts. And the people who are in charge of our finances for the city, how brilliant are they that they'd rather not raise the salary of a paraprofessional and then let lawyers just wreak havoc on the city of New York and get checks written to families where we could have been hiring 2 paraprofessionals. So this is like the gross incompetence, mass stupidity, and arrogance of these people, these bureaucrats hiding behind this complete scam. So it's not as they like it, keep it as this simple. Hey, everybody else, you're going to pay for it. No, you're the employer. You pay for it. Number one. Number two, I heard you talking about Carter cases. It's now at 1.3 billion. That's just Carter cases. Lawyers have already told us, we're like, stay away from our system. We have more and more lawyers who are now running around from school to school. Oh, do you have a parity? You have this. This is, as they tell us, low-hanging fruit for them because they know they'll get the city to write a check right away. And if you ask the Department of Ed, how many paras are we actually short? They can't give you an answer. They know the number because they're all on an IEP. Are you telling me the Department of Education doesn't know exactly how many paras we need? Of course they do. Last year when we produced a number, within 3 weeks they came out with a new number to tell us we were wrong. We were happy about it because it was much higher. And this is agencies working together. And honestly, there are many people inside the Department of Ed who said, we hope you win this fight because OLR and OMB will not listen to us.
The other question that I had on the workforce is, you know, many are forced to leave the Department of Education. Do we know where that workforce is going? Do we have any information about what happens to those families?
They actually leaving to do other professions, more money, because they can't survive with the $33,000. They're leaving with their family, literally moving out of New York City.
Thank you so much for all you do, for being here, and for being the impetus for change. That's what we're trying to get done here.
Thank you for this hearing. More importantly, thank you for introducing this bill. And we do appreciate the effort of you guys really trying to fix something that is just so blatantly wrong that everyone understands is wrong, except for a very few short-sighted people.
Thank you so much for your testimony today. Thank you. Okay, when you hear your name, please come up to the witness panel. Invite Donald Nesbitt, Vice President, Local 372, DC 37, and Emily Smith, a New York City student. Missing. Is she here? Okay. Okay, you can start.
So good afternoon, Chair. I'm Alabo and fellow members of the Civil Service and Labor Committee. I'm Donald Nesbitt, Executive Vice President for Local 372, DC 37, and we represent various titles within the New York City Department of Education, including Family Support Paraprofessionals. Family Support Paraprofessionals is a specialized role focused on bridging the gap between home and school, providing advocacy and services for students with high needs, and this includes students that are homeless within our shelter system. I would like to take a moment to describe some of the responsibilities of the Family Support Paraprofessional. Parent outreach, consent and home visits, for students with attendance issues. They initiate contact with the parents and guardians to explain the evaluation process and obtain consent for student assessments. A record collection and documentation, family support paraprofessionals secure and maintain appropriate records and documentation required for students' evaluations. IEP meeting coordination. They schedule and send notices to parents and guardians regarding their upcoming IEP meetings. Communication and special education services. They provide information to families about services that they may be eligible for, including students with IEPs. Parent communication and support. They provide external agency communication. They respond to inquiries and requests for information from hospitals, ACS, etc. IEP meetings reminders. When these meetings are coming up, they also remind families of this. Coordination with school staff. They work with the school assessment team, teachers, administrators, and service providers for our students and perform any other duties. Parent coordinators are also, paraprofessionals are also in high demand, yet there are severe shortages throughout the school system. Many children and families rely on paraprofessionals to navigate the complicated system of the Department of Education as well as other city agencies. We love working with students with high needs and families, yet they are underpaid and many find second and third jobs in order to make ends meet. The average salary for a family support paraprofessional is $18 to $28 an hour. These workers are not getting rich by doing this work, but they stay because they care and are dedicated to the students they serve. With the cost of living constantly on the rise, it's getting harder and harder. As a result, many paraprofessionals leave because they just can't afford to stay. This annual lump sum that's in the bill, payment of $10,000 added to paraprofessional salary, will help in addressing the high turnover rate and may assist in recruitment and retention as well. We believe that Intro 692, if passed and signed into law by the mayor for UFT paraprofessionals, should include family support paraprofessionals represented by Local 372, DC 37. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Does anybody have any, do you have any questions for Mr. Nesbitt? Okay. So I do have one question, and I'll ask the same question that I asked of President Mulgrew. So have you approached OLR or the city to try to rectify this pay disparity among paraprofessionals?
So we, in collective bargaining discussions, we have tried to add, in an affordability crisis, we have spoken to them about ensuring that some of the low-wage employees within our city are definitely taken care of through this process. It doesn't address everything. We've included things in the last collective bargaining agreement like child care, payments for child care, and things to try to relieve them of some of their bills and necessities that they have. However, the pay just doesn't add up to the work.
Okay. Thank you.
And can I just say one thing?
Sure, of course.
Just want to add, as we think of what Dr. King was fighting for when Dr. King was killed while supporting sanitation workers, it was for fair wages, it was for equitable pensions, and yet in 2026 we look at situations where folks can't afford to live. And I will just echo what President Mulgrew has said. We too get phone calls from our members who are saying they're servants and families in shelters, but they too are in shelters. No worker that works in New York City and services others should be in the same situations. And just want to echo the words of President Mulgrew.
And I just want to follow up on that. So people that are leaving the paraprofessional profession, do you know where they're going?
So at this point, we get phone calls. Sometimes some of our other titles where they're making more money, they move on to other titles. It just leaves more of a shortage. It solves the problem somewhere else, but leaves more of a shortage there. We hear where the private industry has now moved towards, the same rates for workers, the $18 an hour or more, and they've included some things. So workers actually leave to go and work other places. They're just trying to find solutions for themselves because unfortunately it hasn't been solved through this process.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Thank you all for coming here today and sharing your thoughts and experiences. If anyone in the chamber wishes to speak but has not had an opportunity, please raise your hand and fill out the appearance card with the Sergeant at Arms in the back of the room. Okay. Seeing no hands in the chamber, I will now shift to Zoom, where we have Julian Morales on Zoom.
You may begin.
Is he I don't think is he unmuted? He's still muted. Can he unmute? Sorry. Technical difficulties. I think he's still muted.
Hey everyone, can you hear me okay?
Yep, now we can hear you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
Sure, thank you for having me. Um, Good afternoon. Does the time start now? Sorry.
Yep, time is starting now. Yep.
Great. Good afternoon, Chair Audible, Councilmember De La Rosa, Speaker Menon, and members of the council. My name is Julian Morales, and I'm here today in my most important role as a parent in strong support of Intro 692, the Respect Act. My daughter, Charlotte, was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. She's nonverbal but communicates volumes through her bond with her paraprofessional, Tara Lawson. Tara has been far more than classroom support. She has been Charlotte's stability, her advocate, and often her voice. Before entering the public school system, Charlotte attended a private education program where she received extensive services and had the same teachers and assistants for 2 years. When she transitioned to public school in September 2024, everything changed. New building, new teachers, new routine. And the one constant was Tara. Despite Charlotte having 3 different teachers that year, Tara stayed by her side. She learned Charlotte's cues, helped her regulate, and created the conditions for her to feel safe and learn. Last September, when Charlotte started first grade without Tara, the impact was immediate and devastating. Come here. Sorry, 1 second. She stopped sleeping, stopped eating, and resisted going to school. Her anxiety was overwhelming. My partner and I, it's okay, Mama. My partner and I pushed the administration relentlessly to reunite her with Tara. After 6 long weeks, they finally put them back together. The change was instant. Charlotte smiled again. She felt secure again. She could learn again. Tara didn't just show up for our daughter. She wrote a children's book by Tara and me. Um, I'll just, I'm sorry, I'll be quick. I would love the council to pass this legislation, and I'll do anything to help that, to push the speaker and also Mayor Mandani to make sure this happens, but also that the UFT make sure that they take care of the powers for the long haul. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll be submitting formal written testimony.
Thank you. If you're currently on Zoom and wish to speak but have not had the opportunity to do so, please use the raise your hand function and our staff will unmute you. No hands? Seeing no hands, I would like to note that everyone can submit written testimony to testimony@council.newyorkcitynyc.gov within 72 hours of this hearing. We thank the administration and the public for attending this hearing to share their thoughts on the legislation. We look forward to following up on these issues. The hearing is now adjourned.